What's going on, you guys? It is 7:30. Yep, we actually made it. I made it. 7:30 on the dot. Uh David is he's coming back. I swear he was there. He was there. He's coming back. I hear him. He was getting some water. It was really hot where he's at. It's really hot right now, you guys, but it is 7:30 Wednesday, and we are on. It is the Geek Saga, and we have special guests on tonight, who is actually in the green room. So just sit tight, and we'll get to you. We'll bring you on in just a few minutes. But oh, there he is, David. Welcome.
You would be on time the one time I step out to get water.
I was hoping. I was really hoping that you would get on right on time, and then you just. I was like, damn it, he didn't make it. But what's going on, everybody? It is, again, the Geek Saga, two salty veterans that are huge geeks. And I am here, and David is here. I'm so excited that David is with me this week. So, welcome. What have you been doing? Where have you been?
Oh, my God. Been at work, bro. Now that we work opposite schedules.
I know, it sucks. I'm like, damn, I got so used to seeing you. Now, it's when I see you.
I know. That's why I try to skip it other week.
Thanks.
Try to get a whole 7 days, but it never works, dude.
Well, you guys, I mean, it's great to have. I mean, it's both of us. I was really, excited to actually have us on, and especially on a day like this where we actually have special guests, and it's a guest that is after our own hearts. They deal with caffeine. But hold on. We'll get to them right now because we do have a couple other special things that we want to talk about, which is our affiliates, because I'm excited about two new affiliates. One big one that I'm really excited about that I would say it's more of a partner. Now we're partnering affiliate with them because the man is really cool. I got to talk to him. That's Randy over there. Randy, you're awesome, dude. I gotta just say that because he loves paintball. He may be 6'6" and has to use a whole big old boulder or a tree to hide behind, but he likes to play paintball. David, I know you think it's a dead sport, but
I didn't say anything, dude. Take those words out of my mouth.
The smile alone told everything. God, you're just horrible. Anyways, all right, moving on to our first affiliate. That is Ulanzi. You guys, you go onto our Instagram, check out our link tree, and it's got an affiliate code for Ulanzi. They've got a lot of cool things. The light that is actually in front of me that's coming this way, I would say the light behind me that is, but it's not. But a lot of lights that I use when I'm usually in my normal location, which is my little studio at home, are all Ulanzi lights. The cage that I have on my camera is a Ulanzi product also. They're a great company. Check out the affiliate code. It helps us out every time you purchase something. So if you guys are looking for things to film with and light things, they're the place to go. Next, we're moving on. We kind of cut out a couple of them, just so you guys know, because normally Renegades is at the end, but Renegades Game Studios is a affiliate of ours also. Again, click on their link in our link tree. They've got awesome games. And let's see if I could do this without saying one of the games that I always say like second. It's Transformers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and My Little Pony. There. I was able to do that without saying My Little Pony first. I don't know. I mean,
you're a brony. You're a brony at heart.
I'm not a bro. Look, I may have sat down and watched all the My Little Pony cartoons with my daughter, and also when they first came out with my cousin. I may have had My Little Pony downloaded. No. Dude, not a brony, but they've got a lot of great IPs. They have deck building games. They have RPGs. They even have their own type of RPGs out there. So if you know how to play D&D 5th edition, you can play a lot of these games right away. So great company. Check out their affiliate code also in our link. Next, we've got a new one. Big time announcing this. Here we go, Randy. Legendary Supplements is become our newest affiliate partner with us. Check them out at legendarysubs.com. Let's look at this. Check this out. Bam! Look at that. Isn't that a cool graphic? I like it.
It's pretty dope, man.
I know. So these are shots. They're not energy drinks. Just to tell you guys, they help you to focus. Focus. This is for gamers and even for us that that do content like this or cosplayers, they cater to a lot of different guys, a lot of different people. Sorry, not guys, but just people in general. As you can see right there, it says intense flavor. Wait, I can't see it. Man, I'm blind. I can't see my own stuff. Boom, there we go. Now I can see it. Intense flavor, no crash, no jitters, legendary focus. This stuff is great. They come in 2 flavors right now, which is kick and mango, which mango peach, which he said has literally like a kick to it. Like it's like drinking something with tahini in it. I would probably say it's like, it's got a kick. Am I right? Are you seeing that comment from him? Is he saying yes? No? And then they've got also Blizzard Mojito, which he says it comes in with a cold burst and just bam, it hits you, and then you go focus. So 2 flavors. They're I believe it was 1.93 ounce bottles. They're shots. But check them out, guys. Use our affiliate code right there, which says Geek Saga 77 when you go to purchase. Brand new company. We are going to be pushing these guys because, again, Randy, you're awesome already. I got a short time to talk to you, and it was great. So looking forward to working with you guys even more. And yes, that's it. I don't know what else to say, but check them out. Use it. It helps you. We're going to actually do some stuff with them. So boom. Next one is a new one that we picked up, which is Movo. So you can catch them at movophoto.com. They're another company that handles like, they're more for like vlogging and recording. So you can check out their microphones, which I wish I could say this microphone right here is one of theirs, but no, actually one is coming in the mail so I could start using them and start testing out a lot of their stuff. But they've got a lot of vlogging stuff. So the stands that you see right there with the little mic on top, all that stuff is available from them. Really great products. I do have a couple things from them at home. Not so much a mic, but the vlogging gear. So it's a great company to check out. Go onto our link tree again. It's going to have an affiliate code. It's not up today. It'll be up starting tomorrow because we just got all this stuff. So there you go, guys. We are really excited for all our affiliates. I mean, these are like things that we are using. We are talking about. We are going to be drinking. I'm sorry, but I'm not drinking a Kraken right now. I'm drinking a Ghost. I need the energy. I'm sorry. Sorry, Randy.
That's all they sell at the PX, man.
Maybe we could push and see if we can get some of that Kraken in there, some legendary subs. But
Kraken, both types of Kraken.
Wait, they do have that other Kraken there.
Focus and the rum. We need it both.
But all right, we've held on to our guests long enough. We want to get them on the show. So we're really excited to bring them in. So in the normal Geek Saga fashion that we bring in our guests, we are going to do this, which I'm hoping that they enjoy it. But here we go. Mr. Robinson, who do we got coming in today?
Who could that be? Let's see. This is how you answer a door in
Geek Saga.
Who is it? Come on!
What is going on? Dan and Kyle of Pop Culture Coffee. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hi, guys.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having us on.
Yeah.
It is definitely our pleasure. We saw your stuff start popping up on Instagram, and us being huge geeks, huge pop culture fans, we were like, oh my gosh, coffee that takes 2 things that we like, caffeine and geek stuff, and meshes it together, which is awesome. So,
well, it's fun, and we're having fun doing it because we love this stuff. We grew up as fans of it. Dan has had an incredible affiliation with Star Trek for decades. I'm a lifelong Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, Trek fan. We're expanding into some more places. So, it's great because we can bring our pop culture knowledge and cred to help curate something that we think other fans will love. And how do you take that experience in another dimension, add another element to it? I also write Dungeons and Dragons cookbooks. And we've had a lot of success with that. And you play the game, but what do you do the other 6 nights of the week? You want to take that IP home with you. It's a lifestyle brand. And I think that's a big part of what we're trying to do here is show people they can express their love of these things beyond the action figure that we love or the video game, but they can take it home, cook it, impress their friends, brew a cup. It's themed, it's flavored, it's fun, it's aromatic, and lets you express your love in a different way. So that's the philosophy, and we are brand new. We just launched. The first product shipped like less than a month ago.
Yeah.
Which your first product was the Star Trek, correct?
We had a Star Trek, 2 Star Trek products, and we launched with 2 Ghostbusters bags that also had a cold brew, Ecto Espresso cold brew can, which is a really cool depiction of Slimer. And we followed it up with another Ghostbusters bag called Death Chill, which was themed for the new Frozen Empire movie, and kind of an in-universe Raise a Cult can. Raise a Cult was the bookstore that Ray opened in Ghostbusters 2. It's in all the new movies. And then we pre-ordered, dropped Ninja Turtles just over 2 weeks ago, and so that's our third franchise that we've gotten into. So it's really new. Ninja Turtles will start shipping in a few weeks.
And actually, in between those, Kyle, you forgot to say we had Star Trek in between those 2.
Well, Star Trek. We had a Captain's Choice, which depicts Captain Kirk, and a Vulcan Vanilla. But what's really cool, what we're about to do, are in-universe bags.
Oh yeah,
So brush up on your Klingon, because we've got a cool in-universe Klingon, Raktajino, and a Federation bag. Which is if your replicator was broken, this is what will be stocked on your flagship that you could bust out and brew. And we know there's captains that like to cook. We see Pike cook a lot on Strange New World, and there's people that they enjoy the art and the texture of it. So, people brew coffee in the future. Why not? So that's coming, and we're getting into mugs, which is cool. Very limited edition, hand spun, hand glazed, beautiful, hand numbered collectibles that are, extremely limited. So that's going to be fun as well.
I never thought I would say this about a bag of coffee. But these bags of coffee we have coming up here now for Trek and Turtles, I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I'd buy them just for the bags. I mean, literally, they're that classy. They're really incredible, and the coffee's great. It's just that the bags are incredible too. So, if like somebody like me, I would probably buy a bag to store away and keep and display for my collection, and the other bag rip open and have a cup of Java.
Well, that's
with the cans. I was gonna say the cans are cool because one of my favorite arcade games was the 4-player. It's the best 4-player game. Was the Konami 1989 Ninja Turtles arcade game. You could just go play with 3 friends and be the turtles and kick everyone's ass. And our cans are 16-bit depictions of those turtles. So it's like the sprites from the game, and we have we're going to follow it up with some villains too. So that's cool, and it looks totally different than what we're doing with the bags. And all of it is honoring 40 years of Ninja Turtles, which is incredible that both Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles have been here for 40 years.
It's amazing.
And Dan's got some crazy Star Trek pedigree. I don't know if you know, but Dan ran the fan club. Dan, tell us about all the Star Trek stuff and Star Wars. Dan, Star Wars.
Kyle's doing a great job of interviewing. All right, let's go.
Well, and back at Kyle, man. I mean, he's an amazing filmmaker. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Fanboys, one of my favorite movies of all time. But the man there.
Yeah, down there.
That's the director right there. The man behind Fanboys, one of my favorite movies of all time.
I love that movie.
Yeah, so do I, and so do hundreds and thousands of others. So, Kyle has his own pedigree that he's humble. He doesn't talk about, but he's every bit involved in all of this as I am. And just real briefly, I started a fan club that got the attention of Gene Roddenberry and Paramount Pictures, and became the official Star Trek fan club. And we created a magazine with it called the Star Trek Communicator, and it was a full color magazine, and it was in grocery stores and Barnes and Nobles, and we ended up having about 60,000 subscribers to that. And in '87, I got a call from George Lucas, and he asked if we could take over doing what they had with Lucasfilm, and so we did, and we started the magazine called the Star Wars Insider, which is still around today. And prior to that, it was the Lucasfilm Fan Club, and we covered all of the other projects they were doing before the prequels started, and that was Indiana Jones and Willow and those things. And then and then the couple other things that came along from our success with Star Trek and Star Wars, we did Back to the Future, and also did the official fan club for Lord of the Rings. So that's my. I have an extensive pop culture career, but now I want to turn it over to my buddy Kyle, because Kyle has an amazing background as well.
Yes, go for it, Kyle.
Dan started, also Star Wars Celebration, which is the preeminent Celebration 1 Denver. That was all Dan Madsen, and it brings fans together, and that's what showed me. Being a fan of something is more than just going to the movie and seeing it or owning the DVD. Yeah. I stopped collecting a lot of stuff, just went through, ups and downs in life. But for me, it was like being part of the community. I go online and I look at all the toys and I talk to all the people. There's collectors and friends. We just talk about Star Wars or whatever it is all day. That's what it's about. Community and celebration brought people together. And I think that's what I think is here. There's so many other ways to love a brand than just, if cosplay's your thing, cool. If just collecting's your thing, cool. But there are other ways to experience it, and that's what we're trying to do. Like, how can we get into the themes or, make it germane to the characters and bring what we know about these properties and these characters to life in another, cool way. So this is just the start for us.
Well, it's crazy that honestly, when I reached out to you guys for the coffee, I was just like, these are really cool. And even I told David, I was like, dude, look at these bags. He's a huge turtle fan, huge turtle head over there. So he's all like, man, I think I'm gonna just buy a bag to have and a bag to use, because the artwork is amazing on it. And I thought, man, they just look awesome. And then one of the flavors stuck out to me, which was your not the peanut butter cup, the sugar one, the sugar cookie.
Shell Shock sugar cookie.
Sugar, yes, because I'm a huge sugar cookie fan. I love so I was like, oh my God, I got to get these. And so I'm going to be putting in a pre-order too. But the fact that you two, like, no clue, honestly, I hate to sound like I'm clueless on our show, but no clue of your guys' pedigree and what you guys have done, which is amazing that you guys are taking the time out just to talk to little old us. And Star Wars Celebration, Dave is laughing at me because he's like, yeah, you're just showing out.
No, facts though. Like, when he sent me the bag of coffee, I thought we were just gonna have a really cool conversation with two people who like pop culture and coffee, because that's us. We love everything pop culture, and I drink coffee every freaking morning. So to hear everything you guys got going on, like, it's like, what a catch, you know what I mean?
How often we believe in it, and the fact that you guys love this stuff, you guys dedicate your time to do a podcast to talk about the same stuff we love. Yeah. We want to go out and spread the word because we're very proud of it. We're proud of where it's going. We're excited. Absolutely. Like I said, when you see these new Star Trek in-universe bags and the mugs and all this stuff, the Ninja Turtle mug that's coming first, there's going to be a bunch more. It's cool. It's stuff that I want,
Yeah,
I was
me
like,
too.
I want turtle power. I want peanut butter cup coffee. I want that aroma in my house. That sounds amazing,
Yeah.
I love it when you open a bag of coffee and it smells incredible. And so I was like, let's make some cool, different flavors. You just can't go into Starbucks and order your peanut butter chocolate coffee. Why not?
Well, not only that, but you don't got the turtles on their cups. So
they don't have turtles, they just got that weird mermaid lady.
And, Kyle's very good about coming up with kind of how we develop the mutated flavors for the turtles coffee and such. And we kind of went through all kinds of different mixtures and flavors, and Kyle was instrumental in that. And so, I'm totally psyched about all the stuff we have coming up, because really, I'm not kidding. Two of my favorite things in the world, pop culture and coffee. So you put them together and boom, you got the perfect world,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, you definitely do, and especially for us being. I mean, we work on a base that we work 12 hours, and we need coffee to keep us going all day. So, you take what we love, and more of what we love, and mesh them together, and that's what we got. So we're
Amen.
really,
That's it.
Yes.
and
That's
trust
it.
me, we will be pushing this out to everybody that we see. We'll be like, try this, look at this.
Good. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you know
but
what? It's like we started with characters, but we are going to get into some other things like Ninja Turtles this year. Very soon, we're going to have a cold brew that looks like the mutagen canister. You
oh
know,
my
that's just
gosh,
awesome. Um, we're going to do some in-universe Trek stuff, and I think that's what's fun. It's like, what can we do? What makes it cool? You want to hold that in your hand rather than just some random thing. And
Yeah.
you're like, what the hell are you drinking? You're like, oh, it's oozeberry. You know.
I would just hold it just to hold it, because if it looks like a mutagen can, just I'm like, all right.
It's so cool. It's so cool. It's like those are ones where you want to just, drink them, drain them, and put them on your shelf.
Yeah,
And
I've
people
got
will. I mean, people will. These are so cool. Both the bags and the cans. I can't see people emptying the bag or drinking the can and then throwing it away. They're going to say, "Oh God, I got to keep this. I'm going to put it on the shelf."
I don't know if you guys can see it, but that is these two cans up here
Yep.
are
Yep.
original Chef Boyardee Ninja Turtle release cans that were
Oh,
open back when I
nice.
was a kid, and I just cleaned them out, and I've got them sitting up on the
Oh,
shelf.
okay. That's
Wow.
great.
How cool, David. That's awesome.
I would
So-
say look behind me, but I'm not gonna work. But I do have a can of it's from Back to the Future, or a Back to the Future energy drink.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, my daughter bought me one for
Yeah.
my birthday one year. I drank it. It wasn't bad, but I washed out the can and put it on my shelf. And my wife's like, "Why are you keeping that?" Because it's Back to the Future.
Mhm.
Back off. I love, and that's
Exactly.
one of my favorite properties is Back to the Future. I'm a huge
I
Back
love
to the Future
that.
fan.
Yeah.
I
What
love
great
it.
movies.
Oh
Amazing
God,
movies.
like Star Wars is a huge part of my life too. I've got tattoos and everything. And so, same with David. He's got all kinds of memorabilia, but I could watch those movies, but I have to go through all of them. You can't just watch one. Back to the Future, I can watch part one and not have to go through the rest, and then come back and watch part one again, because
Yeah.
it's just a fun movie.
It's a perfect movie. It's perfect.
It is. It really
It
is.
is.
And then when you look
Classic.
at all three of them, they are.
The
I don't know. You
score,
can make
the
a better
cast,
movie than
the
part
tone.
one. Yeah, everything is perfect
There's
in
some
that
really
movie.
amazing movies that came out of that time period, and we don't get those type of movies anymore. I know people are like, oh, everyone says that about we don't.
No,
No.
There's no Goonies. There's no,
No.
you don't get The Last Starfighter like that anymore. You don't get,
Love that movie.
Ghostbusters has such a unique tone. They don't take risks like that. We're seeing a new Beetlejuice, but Beetlejuice is as bold as it gets. They would never greenlight an original movie like Beetlejuice now. It's just
No.
bonkers.
No.
Yeah, Back to the Future is perfect. The music, it's like stunningly perfect,
Yeah.
and it's simple. It's not trying to, it didn't. It's like now it just wouldn't get made. It's
You
just
know, for me, the most perfect movies, two of them, the two most perfect movies I can even think of. One would be Back to the Future. The other one was Raiders of the Lost Ark. Those
Yep.
two movies are just like perfect in my mind. I can't imagine changing anything in either of them.
yeah. Raiders is sensational.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And the crazy thing is that like you were saying, Kyle, that people say, oh, well, you guys just always talk about your 80s movies because that's when you grew up, that's what you love, whatever. But you're right. Has there been something that's come out recently, and I would say the last, let's just say 10 years, that has been so original and so good, like any of our 80s movies?
I can't think of anything. I mean, not right off the top of my head.
You'd have to sit there and think for a
Yeah.
hot minute.
Yeah.
Not that checks the family box. Like the way E.T. just took over the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a well-made film. It's a perfectly made film. It appeals to everyone. Tremendous score. You've got a filmmaker at the peak of their power. There aren't many things like that. There's a lot of niche things, and then there's comic book movies and stuff, but they're not the same as a movie where you could sit a 5-year-old down and they would be like, their life would be changed forever. Like when
Yeah.
you watch E.T.
Yeah.
or Ghostbusters, or I remember seeing Back to the Future in the theater, and it was just like revelatory experience. Seeing Back to the Future 2, it was like snowing out at the mini mall, and it was just, I just remember like the whole thing. It's one of those, and it is special for us because we got to live it and do it. And there's a casualness, I think, to the way people, their fandom, and to the way they consume content. They're vagabonds. They drift through the fandom. Like you talk about Star Wars tattoos and like that deep love, and had probably had a big effect in your life, had a huge effect on the trajectory of my life and becoming a filmmaker. But now people are like, yeah, I like Star Wars. I like this. I like that. I like that. It was like, no. For me, it was like Star Wars. That's like the one thing to unite them all. Star Wars was the one ring of geekdom, and it's not like that anymore. Even Star Wars itself isn't like that anymore.
No.
As evidenced by the content they make. It's just like, we got to get it out. Slap another latte down the counter. Steve needs a latte. Quick, get them. It doesn't feel special. They're not taking the same risks, and they definitely the casualness is there. There's no reverence, and these films felt like, they were special to the filmmaker. Like they meant something. That's why I think they have the enduring qualities they do. Like Ninja Turtles are like Batman to me. Like Batman is one of the few characters that you can take into any era and make him make sense and make him work. He's translatable to, he just becomes a mirror to the time you put him in. And look at Ninja Turtles. We've had how many movies, animated, live action, how many different shows. There's a new Ninja Turtle show launching this summer, I think. There's a Ninja Turtle movie that came out last year, which was great fun.
Turtles are evergreen. I mean,
there's an incredible quality. As evergreen as it gets. They're magic. And they started out as black and white, as like a really independent comic book, totally original. I don't know we get that anymore.
No. Well, I mean, look at the dichotomy between Ninja Turtles 1 and then The Secret of the Ooze. You know what I mean? You just got a little bit of pushback, and then they went a whole different direction with the storyline, and it kind of changed what made the first one amazing. Because I freaking love the very first movie. It's so close to the original comic book and what Kevin and Peter were trying to do with the storyline. And then you get 2, and it's like, well, now it's just the cartoon extended. You know what I mean? And it was great. It just wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's been a few different movies. Kevin Monroe directed one in like the mid 2000s, I think. And I know he loved the Turtles. He did a fun movie. Then there was, the Mutant Mayhem one, and there's a couple of TV movies, but all these different shows, and all of it, through all of that, the characters survive. The characters are what people love. You can draw them a little different. You can express it a little different. But it's those characters. It's like creating memorable characters. Star Trek. Look at this. We're approaching 60 years of Star Trek, and
incredible.
Like, Spock is an icon. The phrases, the music, the tone of the show, the messaging of the show. It's really, really important. And I try to think. I'm like, what did I watch in the past few years? That's I'm 50 years. I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm a huge fan of that because of the way it made me feel. And I'm like, I don't know.
That's a good point, Kyle, because it's like what's being made today that 40, 50 years from now they could still be making
disposable. I mean,
it is disposable.
Yeah, you would go watch Summer of '82. You'd watch The Thing or Star Trek, Wrath of Khan or whatever it was, and that stuck with you. And you'd read about it in magazines and Starlog and all this stuff, and it had like a mystique to it, and it lingered with you. Right now, we are taught to just throw it out next week. Next week, it's a new thing, or tomorrow a new series drops. Get all 10 episodes. Your brain can't even keep it all.
But you hit the nail on the head right there, Kyle, when you said the mystique of it. So we had Starlog. We had to wait till the next issue came out in order for us to get information for whatever's coming down the pipe.
That's right.
With that. So, and then there's, the magazines that Dan took care of that put out, it gave us just snippets. Now we just got to go onto our phone.
Yeah.
And everything's in front of us.
Yeah.
And you're
within a second. Yeah. Something is announced, and in a second it's out to everywhere in the world, and every website has a story.
And not only is it out there, but it's already been on trial. And it's
Yes.
been sentenced to either death or success. Its
Right,
head is chopped
exactly.
off in public. It's beheaded publicly. It's been
Yeah.
tarred and
Mhm.
feathered within a minute. You're like, how was
Yeah.
the Alien trailer? It was great or not? And if it was great, everyone's like, oh, it was great. Okay, we like Alien. You know what I mean? It's like, and everyone feels like they have to go along with that
Mm-hmm.
that that like groupthink. And if
Yeah.
you don't like it for whatever reason, then you're like, oh, you must be a sexist, racist, something. You know what I mean? You can't just you can't even talk about it for what it is. You're like, the story just didn't work or wasn't written well. Oh, no.
Yep.
You must hate this. And you're like,
Yeah.
wait. What happened to just talking about like geeks? Like we
Yeah.
love it. We can talk about superheroes and powers. And, you know what I mean? It's that all of that, the fun of it, the conversation, the banter.
Yeah,
It's just
we've
been
lost some of the
eradicated.
magic from the times, from the movies and the times that we've had in the 80s and 90s and such. That some of the magic that was there is gone now, unfortunately. And with these streaming services, I mean, it's just like they're just, it's like an assembly line. It's just one after another, and it feels like there's just too much. And Kyle, you said it too. It's just nothing special anymore. They don't have any. There isn't that time in between things to wait and get excited and anticipation. I mean, the 2 or 3 years we had to wait between Star Wars movies was just, incredible. By the time, Empire came out, man, people were rabid. They were ready to see it. And same thing with Jedi, and such. And so, yeah, it's just there's too much, I think, today. And it's just like anything, you can have your favorite food, but if you keep getting it served to you and served to you and served to you, at some point you're going to go, oh man, I'm full, I don't want any more. And so I think that's what's happening in some respects to the Star Wars universe and Marvel too, for that matter.
Yeah. It definitely is. And but again, with both you guys, what we're actually all four of us are saying is that we remember when we went to the movies, when it didn't cost us, a mortgage to go. But those times when we went to go see Raiders, it was special. It was amazing. You walk out and you remember that day. You remember the day that I went to go. I remember the day, even though I was like seriously a little kid, I remember the day I went to go see Return of the Jedi, and how I went with my dad, and they were giving away movie posters if you won it on the little things on the bottom of your cup. And I remember that day. I remember what movie theater it was.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I don't remember half the movies that I've gone to see in the movie theater, and half the time I don't even want to go to the movie theater anymore because I could just see it on my TV, and it's cheaper.
One of the magical moments I remember from a movie that was in I guess the 80s would have been, was the original Superman with Christopher Reeve.
Oh my God, yes.
I remember standing in line waiting to see that movie and just being blown away at Reeve is still, in my opinion, he's still
the greatest,
the best Superman they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say the Dune. I did have a good time with Dune. That was big, and also Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse is pretty unique.
I agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll say there are still some cool, good things.
But it took us this long to get to where it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Your Dune was good, and I loved it in the movie theater. Spider-Verse, that was good too. I saw it in the movie theater.
But none of it is original movies that are coming out. Like Back to the Future was an original thing.
They're remakes. Yeah, Dune and Spider-Man, obviously, remakes and animated versions of live-action Spider-Man. That's just another take on it. And so it's not like they came and blew us away with a brand new story about Peter Parker, this guy we'd never heard of.
Right.
Marty McFly was like, wait, what is this? Like he's going to what? And he's got to go to 1955 and the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and then you go to there's Biff and there's hoverboards, and you're just like, what the hell is going on?
Maneuver trucks are everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah,
his mom's got the hots for him.
There's incest going on. They got everything. Long before Game of Thrones was out, we got Back to the Future that had incest also. Right on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But wait, did we transition into Geek Sog After Hours? What are we doing here?
So I gotta ask Kyle. So fanboys love that movie. I do go back and I do watch that movie. And David will attest to me going back and I rewatch movies over and over again because he spent hours with me here at work, and that's one of the movies that every time I saw it pop up on, even when I had cable, I'd just watch it because it was a lot of fun. It was a great movie. What happened to the van?
You know, there was 2 or 3 vans. There was a stunt one. One of them is owned. There's these guys. They go to a lot of Star Wars celebrations. I think I wasn't at Celebration Chicago. It's the only one I missed of the domestic celebrations. And I hate The Last Jedi. Sorry if you love it, but I was glad. I think I missed it. So I think it was there.
It was, Kyle. I was there, and
Okay.
it was there. Yep.
So I know, like Jet Lucas, George Lucas's son, he took a picture and sent it to me. He's like, "Look at this," you know. So it makes its rounds. I think it's been to a few other celebrations since that, maybe, but somebody got it. I don't know how. And there's another one which was more like stunt, and the painting on the side wasn't as full color. But I think somebody like restored that one. I would, of course, love to have one. I think Ernie Klein would love to have one. Ernie's collected some, DeLoreans, time machines. He's got 2 in his garage.
Oh my God, really? Can I go to his house?
Oh, if you're in Texas, he may show you.
I will make this special trip out there. I don't care.
It's cool. He takes it out. He takes it out sometimes, and
Really?
he does book tour. I know when the Ready Player One book tour, he drove one all around. He brought it to Los Angeles. Yeah, there's people that love those, those big movie prop type cars. Somebody out there has it, the Bucephalus van. I think they might even have an account.
It's crazy. I got to look it up now.
Yeah.
And
it was a cool one. It was a fun one, and we made it so you could shoot in it. So it was like, it wasn't just like that from the outside. We actually filmed in the van, brought it onto a stage, and used it as our set.
That's awesome. Everything about that movie was so much fun. I really do love that movie, and God, it's awesome. An honor to talk to you, and an honor to talk to Dan, because I had tickets. On my phone, not on in my hands. We don't do that anymore, but I had tickets to go to Star Wars Celebration. It was, when did we get back from our deployment? That was 2019.
We were gone September 18 to September 19 on that one.
Yeah. So I had tickets to go. I think that was the year of Anaheim.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think it was Anaheim.
I had bought the tickets, and something happened, because it was prior to COVID, that I had to give up my tickets.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I had 4 tickets. I was taking my wife, my daughter, and one of her kids, and I had to sell them off. I think it was because we hit some hard times. So yeah, I've yet to go to a Star Wars Celebration. I'm like dying to go.
Well, you got to go to Japan if you want to go to the next one.
Yeah,
it's a hard one, man. That's hard. It's hard especially when you have little kids. It's like the cost of that. You're just like, wait, what?
Yeah,
like,
it's way too. I know.
I love it when it's in Anaheim and I can go down there and it's like an hour away. Yeah. I can swing that. I've justified the Orlando. I did those Star Wars Smuggler's Gambit and Smuggler's Revenge. I did those radio shows, which we did live awesome. Celebration. We had about 4,000 or 5,000 people come. That was fun. I could justify the trip because I'm like, oh, we're putting on a stage show and there's all the actors from the Rebels and Clone Wars. Yep. You can get away with it. I always want to have something to do down there, so it's fun if I can do a panel. It's hard to just say I'm gonna spend this money on a flight and hotels just to go wander around, as amazing as it is, But I love that. I just love. I don't even go to a lot of panels. I just walk around and see people and talk to people and look at stuff, and it's just people that think and breathe and live like you. You're just around, your family. Yeah. That's what it is. Star Wars Celebration is your family. So if you ever get to go, it's definitely worth it. It's not worth breaking the bank.
Oh no! Don't go broke trying to get to Japan.
Yeah, I might have to tell one of the kids just to go to Japan.
But think about it, though. Think about it. The cosplay at the Japanese Celebration. Can you imagine how incredible that will be?
That's going to be
amazing.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Have you guys ever been to Scum and Villainy, the cantina that's actually in Hollywood?
Oh yeah.
That place.
So a good friend of mine, JC Reifenberg.
Yeah.
I know JC.
JC, yeah, he started it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've been there. I've done some podcasts there. I was guest on podcasts, and the documentary I produced called "The Disturbance in the Force," which is about the making of the Star Wars Holiday Special, came out
Oh,
this
that's
past
brilliant. You guys, if you haven't
winter.
seen it, see it.
I gotta look
Thank you.
that
We
up.
shot that at Scum and Villainy. So we interviewed several different people there. Seth Green is in it, Bonnie Burton, who used to work at Lucasfilm, Taron Killam. They were all filmed at the Scum and Villainy Cantina. So that's our backdrop.
Jeez. I'm just blown away. The more you guys, all this stuff that just comes.
No, you got to see that movie, because everyone here, if you're listening to the Geek Saga, you probably heard of the Star Wars Holiday Special, right?
Oh yeah.
It's considered the worst 2 hours of television ever, and
Amen.
it's not. It's bad, but it's almost not so bad it's good. It's just bad. It's just really bad. And but there's a context to it. Star Wars didn't invent the variety show. That's a terrible format. It was a terrible format because you had very few television stations at the time, and they had to put on entertainment or after dinner that appealed to everyone, and it really satisfied no one. So you had this terrible format, and Star Wars was just plugged into it. And you have to understand that. And then I think once you see this documentary and you understand late 70s television and what Star Wars, where it was as a brand, then you understand why it exists, and you can appreciate it in a new way. And it's 90 minutes long, and I would promise you will laugh. Not all documentaries make people laugh. I made the movie, and I've seen it 40 times, and every time there's parts I still laugh out loud because
it's hilarious.
It's so entertaining.
I love it. Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's on Vice now, but it is on VOD, Apple, and you can buy the Blu-ray on Amazon. It's Amazon. You can stream it. So VOD. So it's out there. It is really, really fun. And I hope that every year around Life Day in November, people watch this rather than going to YouTube and watching that awful special. They actually go like, we don't just make fun of it. You really learn a lot.
It's so bad that it's so good that I even, while we were gone, it was about Christmas time, I put it on, and a couple of my roommates that were sharing the little tin can that we lived in sat down and watched it. They're like, "What the hell are you watching?" I said, "This is the Star Wars Holiday Special. You need to watch this." And then when we got to Grandpa sitting there watching his video as they were trying, I was like, I forgot about this. This is horrible. This
I mean,
Wookiee is.
George was a visionary. Grandpa watching adult films. It's pretty bonkers. Yeah, we get into all that stuff. Who he really wanted to cast for that? There was originally other people, and we really try to break it down. Like, what was George's influence versus, the
network,
the television, Ken and Mitzi Welsh, and the different influences on it, the different creatives, and who brought what to the table, and it's just something that spiraled out of control. It still has a charm. I mean, I like it, but I can acknowledge it's not.
Yeah, it's one of those rare things that it's so bad it's good. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I like watching things that aren't very good just because it's campy and it's fun, and and you can cringe in places. And the Holiday Special is one of those things. And Kyle's movie really, it analyzes and looks at all the different aspects of it, and really, it's hilarious in parts. It's really. I'd rather watch your movie, Kyle, than watch the Holiday Special again.
That's the goal. That's what I want to hear. I want everyone at Christmas, Life Day time to pop on our movie to celebrate Life Day, as opposed to going to YouTube and doing it, because we also, the best version of the special you will ever see. We had. We got it from Smith and Hemian, the original master that Lucasfilm didn't even have.
Oh, wow.
And then that was scene by scene AI upres, 2 different versions. So whatever one we got the best version off of different cuts. So the version that's in the final movie, you're seeing the special like you've never seen it on YouTube or on a DVD before. And even Lucasfilm reached out, was like, "Can we get a copy of the version you're using?" Because they didn't have it. They didn't have anything remotely near what we did.
That's crazy.
I'll have to watch your movie to experience it for the first time because I've never sat through it.
You watch it and then watch the special.
Yes.
The context will be there. You'll appreciate it.
I agree. Watch Kyle's movie first.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably after the show. I'll probably end up because I usually just stay up for a while long after.
Dude, it is
come off.
fun. You
gonna
will
watch
love it. It is so fun. I promise you, you're gonna love it.
And we will definitely post that up on our Instagram so people can say
Please, thank
where to
you.
go find that. But the funny thing is that we're talking about a lot of pop culture, which again, guys, these guys are awesome already. First of all, second, they've got an awesome product they're putting out. So again, Pop Culture Coffee is the place to go to. But we do a segment called This Week in Geek History, and we wanted to know if you guys would join in with us as we do this. And what we do is we go back and talk about like a couple of movies that have come out this week in basically our history, which we've already mentioned a couple of them. It's funny that those ones came up because this month is usually the month of blockbusters. And back in the day with us I think it was like from 84 and earlier, they weren't called summer blockbusters. That term didn't come out till 84 on, and then they started saying, this is a summer blockbuster that's coming out. So if you guys don't mind, I can do this. We can do this real quick.
Sure.
Let me bring this up.
Yeah.
All right. So then, guys, we've got Kyle Newman, Dan Madsen.
Yep.
All right.
He doesn't have a spectacles
all right.
on. Don't worry about him.
I butcher everybody's name. It's not even funny. I'm sorry.
No worries. Don't worry about it.
But all right. So, guys, we're going to take these guys into all right. This week in geek history, we've got starting off with 1982 E.T. And we had already mentioned about E.T. how this movie took the world literally by storm. I mean, you guys had mentioned it a little bit. And what did you guys think? And I don't know everyone's age. I mean, me and David are in our 40s. So
I'm as old as the Ninja Turtles.
oh, yeah, it's sad.
Same year.
Well, I'm old enough to be all of your fathers, so.
No, I'm 48, and I remember seeing E.T. It was one of the most impactful movies for me as a kid. I was 6. It's like the prime age. It made me cry. It made me
me too.
Dream about space. It made me want to learn about making movies. The movie was an absolute unprecedented masterpiece. It cemented Spielberg as a legend. I mean, he had these movies in a row between E.T., Raiders, Jaws. Let's not talk about 1941, but like Close Encounters, like that string from Sugarland Express up through E.T. was just like after that he could do whatever he wants for the next 50 years.
And he has.
And he produced all these amazing movies after E.T. Think of everything he did, from the Poltergeist to the Goonies, to all that. And so E.T. was like as classy as it got. It was like a perfect summer movie. It was one everyone could go to. Everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
I remember I was at like the Jersey Shore and we're at the boardwalk and I like won some like prize. And it was like a really crummy like E.T. stuffed animals, really just like 2 pieces of fabric stitched together. And I think at the end of the week we were driving home and there was like some notice on the radio about like these ETs were recalled. It was like the ones that they were giving out at the Seaside Boardwalk. It was just like everybody wanted a piece of ET. Everybody was like, I wish I had an ET. It was crazy.
Yeah. So Dan, what did you
think? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying, Dan, your take?
Oh, I mean, I can remember standing in line just to get into the theater to watch it, and sitting in the theater so excited because Close Encounters was a very special movie for me. I loved Close Encounters, and this was pretty much the closest thing you'd ever get to a sequel to it. And I've been hearing just rave reviews. I think I saw it like 2 or 3 days after it opened, and I went with a good friend of mine, and like Kyle, I mean, I cried in it because it was so touching, and it was just it made you feel good. The music, of course, John Williams is so brilliant.
Oh my God,
He's it's the soundtrack of all of our lives of
yeah.
the movies that he's scored, and yeah, E.T. is it will forever hold a special place in my heart because I remember how magical it was to sit in that theater and watch it be brought to life. And
Yeah.
incredible movie.
It definitely was an amazing movie. I mean, I was at this point only 4 years old, but I still remember and actually have a Polaroid because we went up to this event that they were doing for the ET movie up at Universal, where I actually got to sit on a bike with ET in the basket. And then I remember seeing this movie, and it was just such an amazing movie. And even at 4 years old, I was crying because it's like ET's dead. What are you
Yep.
doing to me? You've destroyed me. And then they brought him back to life. It's like, all right, we're cool. But it was such an amazing movie that even to this day, like this was a movie that I showed my daughter too, because I want her to experience some of the things that I experienced and how great these films are. And now she loves film. She wants to do stuff in film. So, I mean, all these movies that I showed her, but right back to Dan, what you said about you remember standing in that line. You remember that day, even Kyle remembering these days because they were such huge events for us. And the John Williams music is basically my childhood. That was,
Some of my best memories from my childhood. I'm not kidding. And in pop culture in the world are the standing in line for maybe the fourth or fifth time to go see Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark or E.T. or Jaws. I mean, and people standing in line all the way around the building. We're all talking about our favorite scene in the movie and such, and then I still have a really fond memories of the lines that I stood in waiting to go see each of those films, for the fourth or fifth time back then.
Yeah. One of the biggest sins is that Universal closed the ET ride and the Back to the Future ride.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if Randy's still in our watching us, but Randy, runs Legendary Subs or Legendary Supplements. He used to work for Universal, and he has a prop from, and I'm sorry, Randy, if I'm outing you out here, but he has a prop from the ride, from Back to the Future ride, that I was like, oh my God, you have that. And he's like, yeah. I was like, dang. So really quick trivia on this, guys. The film was shot at eye level to a child. So I don't know if you guys and you guys I'm sure know about that, but for those of you guys out there, watch ET again and really look at the shot level of this. It is literally at the eye level of a child. So you're immersed more into the world. And that, I think, is what captured us even more, is because it's not from us looking down, it's us looking straight as a kid. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And also,
normal to me.
What was that?
Felt normal to me.
Yeah, it was David.
Me too.
It was David size, so we're good. But
Yeah.
this movie also won 5 Academy Awards, so this was a huge impact. So moving on to the next one, we've got Indiana Jones. Look at that. Came out in 1981. So I usually put these in like chronological order, but I didn't this time, unfortunately. I was in a rush. But this was another one that I was just watching it this week, actually. And this was another one of those movies that, again, flawless, I would say.
Perfect action movie. Probably the best action movie of the 80s. Everyone's going to say, oh, Die Hard or whatever. This is perfect. It's got everything. He shot it under schedule. He did it in less days than he needed. He blew people away. A collaboration between George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. I mean, it's insane. The mystique of this movie, the backstory of it, how it came about. It's I mean, you could show it to anybody, any day. You could pop that on any time. If you don't like this movie, I probably don't like you.
I was such a geek for this movie that after it finished its run in the theater, one of the biggest, nicest theaters here in Denver, Colorado, they had a massive cardboard display. I think it was like 15 feet high of the original poster with, Harrison Ford, and it was kind of 3D-ish. And so I kept asking the manager, I said, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? And he kept saying, oh, I don't know. We might probably throw it away. I'm like, no, let me have it. Let me have it. So he finally, I wore him down, and my dad got his truck and we drove down there and picked it up. And I had this massive, face of Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones in my bedroom. I mean, it was literally 15 feet high by, I don't know how long, but it was one of those giant standees, that they had in the lobby of the theater. And it was really cool. That's how big of a fan I was of the movie.
Well, I mean, this movie, when I first saw it, obviously I was a little bit older when I finally got to see it, and I got to see it on VHS, which those of you guys that don't know what VHSs are, go onto your little phones and find out. But yeah, that's how we used to watch movies when they weren't in the movie theater. But I wanted to be an archaeologist because I was like, is this what they do? Sign me up. I'm in. That's what I want to do. Then I found out what they really do, and I was like, no, I'm do something else.
Not so cool.
Yeah,
I bought a bullwhip and tried to use it, and I left some. I still might have some marks on my back from that damn bullwhip.
That's like what Jurassic Park did for like paleontology, and
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you find out that there's no real dinosaurs, and you're like, oh, so they're just really digging up bones? Yes, that's what they do.
Yeah, or just playing puzzle pieces all day.
Yeah.
That's like the most frustrating Lego. Yeah.
Because you find one like in one area, and then like 5 miles down the road, you're like, oh, there's the leg. All right. But one of these scenes, for those of you guys out there that don't know, the scene that I have put up right here, which is Indy facing the swordsman, for you guys that don't know about this little bit of history and trivia, Harrison Ford was actually, he had the flu that day and was just so tired of going take after take that the scene was supposed to be a fight, but when he reaches into his holster, pulls out his 38 and shoots the guy, it was all ad-libbed. And they're like, he's like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. Once he shot him, he walked away, and he's all like, I'm done. I'm tired. And they kept it. So I love, that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, because it's just that look on his face, like, once he shot the guy. But the sound effects were created by hitting leather jackets and baseball bats. So all those punches and everything, that's just a leather jacket. And actor of all things, actor Jeff Bridges was considered for the role of Indiana Jones. I don't know about that.
I hadn't heard that. I know Tom Selleck was. He almost got the part.
He was really close to it. Yeah. Really close. But
he had some TV show that he had been contracted for that nobody knows about now,
Yeah.
But can you guys picture anybody other than Harrison Ford playing this part now?
No.
Same with Han Solo. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Exactly.
Harrison Ford is irreplaceable. I mean, you can't put anybody else in that role.
No.
He's one of like the 5 legit movie stars of all time.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree. Definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
he is definitely up there. So, but moving on from 1981, we're gonna. Oh shoot, too far. Oh, there we go. Fast forward to 87, Predator. And again, all these movies are huge pop culture like phenomenons. These aren't just movies that I randomly pick like I normally do, but these ones were, because I've got 2 pop culture fans, these ones were put together. So Predator. What did you
loved
guys?
It. I mean, the Predator alien dude was just incredibly creepy looking with the dreadlocks and everything. I remember that movie so well. It really impressed me.
I'm the only person on earth that can just make the Predator noise.
That's good.
So listen, the Predator, originally it was, you can watch this on YouTube. It was Jean-Claude Van Damme was hired. And he was going to wear like this peach magenta suit and run through the forest. And he was a praying mantis man.
It looks
And
so
then they
good.
had to like replace it, and that's when they brought in, Stan Winston, the whole thing. Crazy. Yeah, this movie's, it doesn't have the same magic to me. Obviously, it's like E.T. or Raiders, but it's a fantastic movie. Really good score. It really cemented Arnold, in a certain position. He was just like, could do no wrong action hero. It's great fun. It's awesome.
Yeah, this one. So prior to this, it was Commando, which he was coming out as the action hero. This one just solidified it as he is an action hero. There we go from this point on. And also, so some trivia with this one was Arnold actually had a whole gym flown out to the jungle where they were filming, set up so he can work out. And they would wake up at, I believe it was, so they would do like anywhere between 12 to 14-hour shoots. And he would go and run up to where his gym was set up, literally run, get there, work out at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then get onto set. So the rest of these guys, you can see all these guys have huge muscles, which we don't have, unfortunately. But they all went and followed him and did the same thing. So they would get their pump on and then go down and film all day long in the heat and then keep just doing that. So he like had a regiment going with these guys. It was crazy. The stuff that I've heard about what happened on these sets is like nuts.
Dude, one of my favorite stories of this movie is him and Jesse the Body going back and forth in the gym. And he's like, no, my arms are bigger. No, my arms are bigger. So Arnold went to the tailor and he was like, hey, write down that his arms are bigger than mine. Just because I want to see what happens. And then they go back and forth for a couple days. And when it finally happens, he's like, oh, put your arm next to mine. And he's like, what the hell? The seamstress told me that my arms were bigger. He's like, yeah, because I paid her to tell you that, stupid. Like, but it just kind of tells you who he is as a person,
Oh,
yeah.
But this was another great movie that came out. And I mean, every kid wanted to be an action hero at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And the new one's good. Did you guys see the new Prey movie?
I haven't seen that. No.
I've seen it, and I was kind of like, I don't know. It didn't have that same feel, I guess.
It's not the same, but it was cool. I liked.
Yeah.
I did like. I think they're making another. It was better than some of the other Predator sequels, but they're making another Prey sequel. I think, right?
They're making a Predator. It's called Predator. It is a sequel to the Prey movie. So,
Okay.
But we got one more that we're going to go through,
Okay.
Kyle, real quick. And
Yeah.
I kept popping into it because I was clicking too quick. But and now I clicked again too quick. There we go. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I mean,
another classic.
Absolute classic. One out straight out of the Universe. That's what I like to call it. But
you got Broderick coming off of like Broadway, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like a phenomenon. Tremendous script. Yeah, John Hughes universe. And it's like, I'm a huge Home Alone fan.
Oh yeah, I love Home Alone.
Best movies ever. Especially you can't go through the holiday season without watching Nightmare Before Christmas and Home Alone. That's just it. And It's a Wonderful Life. And Home Alone is it's just like that era of John Hughes and Chris Columbus, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
All of Hughes's movies at that time were just like, they've become classics. They were just one right after another was just amazing. Yeah. This one right here is also another one that's just like, I can't think of anything bad to say about it because it's such a great movie.
Yeah, no, it's rewatchable. I mean, I just saw this was airing on TV, I think about 3 months ago, and I watched it again, and I enjoyed it just like the first time I saw it.
Yeah. It's one you definitely can watch, at least year after year without saying, all right, I've watched this movie enough, because it's just a fun movie. And
I will say, watching it as a kid, though, I didn't care for this movie at all. Going back and rewatching it, probably about, I'd say it was like 23, 24, it really hit home because I was like, oh man, it all makes sense now. Seeing it at 5, I was like, what is this? This guy's just running around. I don't want to see that. And then I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, man, I wish I could go back to high school and, just spend a whole day, wasting time.
It speaks to that, yeah, the teen experience in such a unique way with a very this specific voice. I think when movies have a specificity to them and something to say and like really clear, it's not like a generic high school experience. In this, any movie, once you get specific and it feels real with detail, it's memorable. I think that's why this movie is legendary. It's because everyone could relate to it, even if it wasn't their life. It didn't look exactly like the feeling of this. That's even if the era is different.
Mhm.
People dress different. They have phones. There's something about this, the middle finger to like the world that that's people identify with. That's why it's endured. That's why I think it's considered like legendary 80s comedy.
I agree.
It definitely it is one that, yes, if you see it in high school, you can relate to any one of those characters. And it's just a great movie, and along with all the other ones, like it's great. But so that is, hold on, let me take this down. That is it for it. So these films not only provided memorable entertainment, but also contributed significantly to the cultural landscape. So that's what's great about these movies. And again, you guys, thank you so much. Let me bring this up. God, we need a Ned. We definitely need a
We
Ned.
needed men in the chair, dude.
Yeah, we definitely need a man in the chair. Let me bring this out so we can make sure that we're close out, and then we'll close out with you guys real quick. All right, guys, just to have this bit of time with you guys, I wish we could sit down and talk all night, because it would just be an amazing thing to do, to hear all your stories, Dan, to hear everything with you, Kyle. We would love to have you guys back on either together or individually. If you guys that would be great to do.
Sure.
Well, and then in the meantime, we just want everybody to go to popculturecoffee.com and check out all the amazing different types of pop culture coffee we have. I mean, there's some fun stuff there. So check out the website. It's incredible.
Yeah,
shipping now, the Death Chill is pretty crazy. It's like if you like Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints, it's like Thin Mint cold brew.
Oh, well, I'm definitely going to be ordering the oh my gosh, the Ecto
Chill Shock Sugar Cookie.
That
Chill
one too.
Shock Sugar Cookie.
I'm gonna pre-order that one, but I'm gonna definitely get it. I want some of that Ecto Espresso.
Oh yeah, Ecto Espresso. Yep.
Yeah, that's another flavor that I was like, ooh, that sounds good. And the package looks amazing, even though you got Slimer's cheeks on the back of it.
He's operating through the back of the package. Yeah.
Hey, he's got a cute butt. What can you say?
Well, guys, it has definitely been a pleasure having both of you guys on. I mean, God, we had no idea just what we were, I guess, really getting ourselves into on this one. But I'm so glad. I am so glad I reached out to you guys. I'm so glad you guys actually came on. Can't wait to have you guys back on. I'm actually, I'll let you guys go, but I'm going to email you guys because I've got some shirts I definitely want to send out to you guys.
Awesome.
So you'll have, it looks kind of like this. It's the Geek Saga with our logo.
Cool.
And actually got a Back to the Future one. I have a Back to the Future looking one and this one. So
nice.
I will be emailing you guys for that. And guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to close you guys out and you guys can definitely head out after that. And you guys have a great night.
You too.
Thank you for having us on. Good to meet you guys.
Yeah,
nice to meet you guys. Thanks for swinging by.
All right. So, guys, good night to these guys. Again, popculturecoffee.com. Check them out. Get your coffee from them. These guys are awesome. So, Dan, Kyle, you guys have a good night.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having us.
Dude, what a great interview.
Dude, I honestly was like, I feel like I should have been like prepared for this, but honestly, there was no. I didn't know how to prepare for it.
Yeah, I mean, same. I didn't know what to think, but dude, they were freaking awesome, man. Like
Oh.
knowing that, like the background that they had coming into this, like they're not just a brand. They're not just taking the word pop culture and making coffee out of it. Like they're actually pop culture aficionados and doing this coffee thing. Like, bro,
Dude, they're
crazy.
part of the pop culture.
Yeah, they are part of the culture.
Yeah, Dan doing Star Trek communicator, doing the Lucas fan. I mean,
Star
these
Wars
are books.
Insider.
Yeah, I had those books. I had the Indiana Jones one. I remember looking at that thing, like constantly looking at that thing, and then Kyle with, and we've got to dive deeper into it with him because Fanboys, I love that movie.
That movie's hilarious, dude.
Dude, that movie is so funny.
Like, I remember when they roll up on the Trekkies too, and they like give them a hard time, dude. It's actually Trekker, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever, dude."
And then when he's all like, and holding the head,
Doesn't he put his cheeks on the back window of the van too? Give him the big tam.
dude, that
Oh,
movie,
man.
I love that movie. That is such and hearing him mentioning what's his name, Ernie Klein,
Mm-hmm.
writer of Ready Player One. I love that book, dude. The book is not too. You know me. I'm not that
Yeah,
big
the
of a
movie was.
but the book. Oh my god! I love reading the audiobook. It's great. Oh,
Well, I mean, here's the contrast to that, right? If you don't know the book, the movie's freaking amazing.
true.
You know what I mean? If you have no context of what the book was and you go watch the movie, it's great. And it's kind of it gives you one of those things like what Starship Troopers did for me. I watched Starship Troopers, I was like, oh, this is a cool movie. And I remember going back and like scouring through my library at the school and finding the book and reading through that sucker. It was actually really good.
That is a really good book. It's so different from the movie itself, and it's really dark, but it's an amazing book too, and really short. I actually went through that one
Yeah,
too.
it's like Tarzan, like the first couple Tarzan books.
Yeah.
Not long, but really good.
Yeah, but dude, I'm like, just hearing everything that just kept coming out from them. It's like, this is awesome.
Dude, and then the one thing I was gonna say, but I didn't want to cut them off, was like the things that have influenced me to like my favorite things in the world. Like I love Reese's Pieces. I freaking love pizza. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
because of one dude in a freaking galaxy far, and actually in a place that no one has ever gone before, space, right?
Mhm.
I drink Earl Grey tea because of freaking Jean-Luc, man. So
Well, I remember back in the day, they had it was you collect, and this is back when we didn't just scan things. We had to actually buy packs of Reese's Pieces, the little pieces that they used in the movie,
mhm.
to order I think it was just to get a poster, an ET poster. And it was a lot of packs that we had to go through.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we ate them and collected them and sent them in, and we got a ET poster. I remember the ET finger.
Mm-hmm.
It's so wrong looking. I didn't want to bring that one up because I didn't know how to gauge it. Like I didn't know if I could go to the Geek Saga after hours stuff or not.
Yeah, yeah. But dude, what a freaking conversation. Those guys were amazing.
Dude, this was so much. I'm seriously like, Kyle, if you're still listening a little bit, if you need somebody to be in your movie, we'll be in it. Your next one. Dan, if you need any help too on any of your we're here.
Eugene doesn't know how to write, but he's a great support system.
Hey, if you need lights put up and a camera, I could do that stuff. Just
You
don't
want to
have
hold a
the right-
gimbal?
Hey, but come on. The end of this time of if I would have practiced it a couple more times, that was not bad at the end of the Geek History.
It was good.
He's not only provided memorable entertainment, but also contributed significantly to the cultural landscape. Look, I nailed it right there.
We didn't need you to do it again, but yeah, it was good.
Oh
You're taking away from the special that it had at the first time.
Oh well, you know,
So,
dude, I'm seriously stoked. Just how this went, guys. Really go on to Pop Culture Coffee. Get your coffee from them. They've got those flavors all coming out. They have a couple flavors already, like they said. I'm going to be getting myself some Ecto Espresso because the flavor combination there I want to try. But I can't wait to have them back on so we can just talk pop culture stuff.
dude, pop culture stuff. And then today was a great day. We had freaking coffee, pop culture coffee come up.
Yep.
Randy from Legendary Supplements was in the freaking chat. Go get those subs, get the Kraken, try those out. Let us know what you think of the flavors because we're about to start trying them out ourselves. But dude, freaking amazing day.
Yeah, it was great. It was definitely great. And you know what? I didn't even use our new backdrop.
Yeah, I noticed that we're still using the old one.
I was like, oh shoot, I meant to switch it out. Let's show you guys. I'm going to show you guys a new little overlay. There we go. That's the one I'm supposed to be using. A little slow.
I like it. It doesn't. I think there's not so much going on.
That's exactly why I created this one because it's like, you know what? I need less going on in the background. And this now gives us that. So share, like, comment, you guys. Places, and we didn't even mention where you guys can find us, but down below you can see right there on TikTok at the Geek Saga, Instagram at the Geek Saga, YouTube at Geek Saga 77. Facebook right now, we are now down. Our Facebook page is up, but for some reason, StreamYard is not communicating with Facebook. We should be getting an update on that very soon. But we're on Facebook at the Geek Saga, on Twitch at the Geek Saga. We have our website, which is thegeeksaga.com. And you heard me mentioning we have shirts. We do have shirts. I'm like, it takes a while for me to put all this stuff together, but I've got it all together now. And you guys can also own one of our shirts. We are going to be selling them on our website for $20. So no, not free shipping though. You do have to pay for shipping. Sorry guys, we're poor. We're trying to take your money.
We live in California. We can't afford to ship. All right.
Yeah, you know, when they want to raise your minimum wage to $30 so you can try to live here, which is not going to. Yeah, I know. I should have gone there, but I did.
I should have sent it to you at the end of it all.
You should have, because then I would have been like,
dude,
not even think about it. But let's not get into it. Let's just leave that alone. We'll walk away. But thanks to everybody that was on tonight watching. Yeah, I mean, if this is your first time, you had an awesome treat, which was meeting Kyle and Dan. Those guys are awesome. But like David said, check out Legendary Supplements. They're our new affiliate partner. We're really excited to work with these guys. Randy is a seriously cool dude. I know I outed Randy about something that he has in his possession. Sorry.
That's why we can't tell you these things, man.
That's why I'm a horrible. Yeah. I'm not so much a snitch. It's just, it slips out. I'm sorry. But
excitement, dude.
I get excited about this stuff. I can't help it. Also, guys, hey, we are looking for, like I mentioned in the show, kind of a Ned. If you guys don't know what I'm referencing, go watch the new Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, and it's the guy in the chair. The guy behind.
Guy in the chair.
We're looking for a guy or girl. It doesn't have to be, but a guy or girl in the chair. What we're saying is we're looking for somebody to produce this show, help produce it, handle all these different switches between all this stuff, working with our guests, wrangling them and emailing them. And you know what? For a whopping $3.99 is what we're saying right now.
But I mean, what comes with that free? You're basically donating your time to us. But what comes with that free thing? Anytime we go to an event, you're welcome to come with us. anytime one of us can't be there, you'd be the second person to go. If for some reason we're stuck at 2 tickets or whatever. But just everything that we get is going to be for the entire team.
Yeah.
It's not just the 2 ugly faces you're looking at right now. It'll be for anyone who's affiliated with the Geek Saga in any way. We'll get you out there, and you can go to these cons with us, go to these live events, go. I mean, if you want to be on the camera, we can work it out so you get on the camera too. Like, just we're looking for someone who's willing to assist, produce the show, and assist us with the production of everything that happens. So,
yeah, you'll have your a production. Actually, you can say you're a producer because you
or moderator.
Or moderator, yeah, either one.
Yep.
But you know, it I know we joke about that we don't have the cash to pay somebody. No, we don't. But if we can streamline this even more, there's stuff down the pipe that we're working on, and we definitely need the help. So, also, hey, if you guys are like cosplayers, video gamer, gamers, even other podcasts that deal within this whole realm, hit us up. Let us know what you're doing, and you can reach us on our DMs in obviously our Instagram, or even email us at Gmail, at the geeksaga@gmail.com, and let us know what you're doing, and we'll read it over. We'll talk to you about it, and if it's something that we can pull on to the show, we'll bring you onto the show. You can be a guest, and we'll talk about what you. Huh?
geeksaga20@gmail.com.
Yes, the geeksaga20@gmail.com. My bad.
But if you know someone who has a podcast and they're looking for guests, we would love to come on to and help support their podcast as well. And then in turn, maybe they'll come and geek out with us on our show. But hit us up, let us know.
And just to give you guys a little heads up of what we got coming up. So this week was Pop Culture Coffee. Next week, which I gotta email him tonight to remind him, we do have JC, or we will be having JC from Scum and Villainy, who actually Kyle mentioned earlier in the show. He'll be coming onto our show to talk about everything that he's doing. The dude has a long list of things that he's done and he's still doing and part of. And not only that, but he's got Scum and Villainy Cantina, which is down in Hollywood. That place is freaking amazing. It's an awesome it's a bar, which if you guys know me, I don't go to bars, but this place I would go to because it's actually really cool.
Did you get the blue milk?
Huh?
Do you drink the blue milk?
You know what? They do have a blue milk drink, but I didn't have it the last time I was there. I was there for Evil Ted, which Evil Ted's going to be doing another one of his builds there. So go check out Evil Ted Smith's website, which is evilted.com, and you can get tickets to go do a build. And it's a really cool event. And then, so that's on Monday. We actually have 2 things set up for next week, which is on Wednesday, we're going to be having Ryan and his wife. Oh my God. I don't want to butcher the name because I can't remember the name.
So
but
Ryan and his wife
from Golden Apple, they'll be coming on to talk about obviously Golden Apple comic book store, which is on Melrose, and also the Golden Apple Foundation, which they do a lot of great things to help with, with art and bringing the art of comic books back out and all this other cool things. So we'll be having them on next week also. So another one, Infinite Abilities is coming over to our show on the 26th. They are a comic book store right now that's online, and I always don't know how the best way to say it, but they hire special needs. Is that PC enough or no?
Yep.
All right. So they've got quite a few of their, Desiree was a special ed teacher, and she wanted to continue doing something when she retired from there. So she decided her and her husband started a comic book store. And they've hired some of the old students that she had. And now that they've got that going on. So if you guys are interested, check out infiniteabilities.com to go pick up your comic book, your comic books online. Anything else, man? Can you think of anything?
As always, man, Darren and Veronica, we want to shout out Project Wish Upon a Star. and Tim, because he's always got our back. He's always helping us out.
Hell yeah.
But go to projectwishuponaStar.com. Go to our Instagram. We should still have a link on there that you can donate to them. If not, we'll be refreshing that soon. But they do a lot for kids with cancer, kids who have terminal illnesses, kids who can't get to cons or don't have a lot of mobility. They'll bring the con life to them, bring the stars to them, do what they can to get those kids the same opportunities that everybody else gets, just because they're not, in that situation. But everything comes from their pocket, so every little bit that you give helps them not have to like put their whole check into that whole project. But we do what we can for them because they've done a lot for us.
They will be at LA Comic Con again this year. I was already talking to Darren about what their booth idea is, and we will be doing the same thing we did last year where we're sharing some space with them. And I'm going to be actually helping them to set up however we can, so it's, again, not all coming out of his pocket. And also, since we're kind of piggybacking, we got to help out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But love them. Darren is he's got a huge heart. That dude, on the days that it's like somehow he knows those days where I'm just like, and then he pops up and I'm like, oh, wait, what's up? And awesome dude. Awesome dude. And Veronica, you're both awesome. So yeah. We Can Be Heroes, Chatsworth, go to their comic book store. That's where I frequent. And again, Golden Apple on Melrose to get your comic book needs. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That's it, man. I mean, once I get settled in my new place and I start finding all the comic book shops, I'll start plugging some of the ones up in my area. I just haven't had a time, since Heroes went down. I haven't been to the new location where they reopened, and I haven't been out in Visalia where I moved into my new house. So once I get going there, then we'll start plugging some of the stuff that's up here in the Fresno area.
I think there was something that I saw. Hold on. Was Darren doing something with
Legends, maybe?
That's what I think. Hold on. Calling All Superheroes, Secret Identity comic book. It's Wednesday, new release. Don't forget to grab your Fresno Grizzly. Oh, raffle tickets. That's right. They're Secret Identity comics. Raffle tickets still available. Custom Secret ID jersey, Grizzly tickets, custom build a bear, and the winner throws out the first pitch on Marvel Night out there. So get over to Secret Identity Comics to get your raffle tickets to be able to get to a Grizzly game, and pick up all this really cool custom stuff. I mean, if you win, again, you get to throw out the first pitch out at their game. So on Marvel Night. So check that out, guys. That was something I wanted to plug for them. So, All right, man. Well, I guess that's it. That'll do it for us for this week.
So, I mean, as always, join us next week. We'll be here Wednesday, 7:30-ish. Today was on time. Shout out to Eugene for that one. But we do this every Wednesday. We come together 7:30. He gave you the rundown of what's going to be happening over the next 2 or 3 weeks. If you can't catch us there or at an event, hit us up on the Instagrams and stuff. But as always, join us next week when the saga continues.